Sports world, how you live? You know who it is. I've introduced myself too many times now. This is like the what, fifth, sixth video? You should already know who I am right now. No, I'm just playing. This is the dude, Intergalactic Brew, once again coming at you with another entertaining video. In this video, I'm gonna be just discussing some things that's on my mind. I was watching ESPN First Take today, and they were saying that breaking news had broke out today that Jason Garrett has officially been named the head coach for the Dallas Cowboys. Great job, Jerry Jones, but an even greater job to Jason Garrett for reviving this football team when it seems like they were on the brink of self-destruction with Wade Phillips. Now, I know there's been a lot of conspiracy theories going on about, Jason Garrett hid some plays from Wade Phillips that could have benefited the team, and Jason Garrett was doing this to intentionally bail or run Wade Phillips out of Dallas for good. That's not the case. At least I don't think so. I think what Jason Garrett did is, I think he just played his role as the offensive coordinator, and when the opportunity came knocking, he opened the door, walked through the door, and took advantage of the golden opportunity given to him by Jerry Jones. And as a direct result of that, he gets a head coaching job. So, you could come up with all the controversy and all the propaganda that you want, but the bottom line is, Jason Garrett deserves this job. And I give a big thumbs up to him and a salute. Awesome, man. Awesome. You deserve it. Now, some other news I want to talk about is the coach Jim Harbaugh situation. Now, also on First Take today, they were discussing about Jim Harbaugh's choice of whether he would break into the NFL and head coach a struggling 49ers franchise who is in desperate need of a coach who can motivate them and who can make better decisions for them to win football games. Or he could just go on back to Stanford and continue the success that he has there with what was going to be the #1 pick in the NFL draft. Thank God it's not going to happen, because now this leaves more doors to open for my boy Cam Newton, Andrew Luck. So, my thoughts on the situation concerning this are that I would love to see Jim Harbaugh come to the 49ers. I'm not too familiar with him. From what I've heard, he's a good coach. He knows how to motivate his players. And, hey, he led them to an Orange Bowl, so at least he's doing something right? So, yeah. But, I think it really doesn't matter the structure of the coach, just as long as the coach comes in with good intentions and is thinking about what's best for the team. I think that's probably the best criteria or the best qualification you can go for with a coach for this franchise in particular. Now, if you were talking about other franchises out there that were in need of a head coach, their situation might be different. But in this case, for this team specifically, this San Francisco 49ers team, who I might add is an ultra talented team, has superior talent all across the board at every position, offensively and defensively, but just did not have the coaching behind them, or at least the right kind of coaching behind them to take them on and beyond. But I think if you're going to go with somebody that's going to motivate this team and is going to make good enough decisions and put this team in good positions to go far next year, I think Jim Harbaugh would be your guy. You know, from the looks of what I've seen from him, you know, he seems to be a pretty laid back guy, a real patient guy, a guy who really understands, you know, these young, youthful players. Because basically, you know, that's what the NFL is these days. You know, it's just a youthful league. I mean, half of the players in the NFL right now average from 22 to 27 years old. I mean, it's just unbelievable. And they play at such a high standard. You know, you would think, you know, guys of this age and this magnitude, you would think, you know, that they would kind of be nervous, you know, playing on such a big national stage, quote unquote, like the NFL. But apparently these guys have taken the pressure well and they've ran with it. So there you go. But I think what the NFL is looking for now is, I think he's looking for coaches who are not so focused on, you know, just trying to do what they can just to get a win so they can look good. I think what the NFL is looking for these days is coaches who not only want to win, but who care about the team, who want to have a relationship with their players, and who want to build that chemistry and that trust to the point where they're going to go out and they're going to play for their head coach every single night, every single year. And in this case, I think that's what Jim Harbaugh would bring to this team if he just so happens to go here. But you know, if he doesn't, I won't be surprised, because like I said, you know, he has gained some very good success in Stanford. Like I said, just recently led him to an Orange Bowl championship. So like I said, he's doing something good. So maybe that might be a feather in his cap. And then on top of that, if you look at it from a business side, or just the side of just getting his feet wet, or just putting in a good word for him, you forget his brother John Harbaugh, who coaches the Baltimore Ravens. That's another outlet he has, and that helps, that benefits him. You know, you got family in the business, you can pretty much sign your name on your on your contract right there, you know. But I mean, I don't know, we'll have to see what happens. But going back to Jason Garrett though, congratulations, you deserve it. I like Jason Garrett's attitude. I like the body language of this team. I like what he brings to this team. He brings charisma, he brings energy, and that was something that the Dallas Cowboys lacked with Wade Phillips. And most importantly, what Jason Garrett brings to this team is discipline, because that was the main characteristic that was slowing this team down. If this team would have been a little bit more disciplined and not think everything was a show, we probably might be talking about them right now hosting the Super Bowl in their hometown. But if you don't have discipline, you know, nobody's gonna care. So I think Jason Garrett has kind of wiped out that carelessness and brought some discipline and some focus, at the same time bringing fun and charisma and personality back to this Dallas Cowboys team. And I like where they're going. They've got some talented guys on their roster from top to bottom in every position, and I could see them possibly being in this same position as the Falcons and the Bears are in the NFC next year. Who knows? Only time will tell. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, another thing I want to clear up is I said about the Baltimore Ravens in one of my previous videos when I was previewing the wild card. I said that this is going to be a chance for Baltimore to bounce back. After getting bounced out of the first round last year, I stand corrected. The Baltimore Ravens actually bounced the New England Patriots out of the first round last year. So I stand corrected about that. I stand corrected. This is going to be a chance for the Baltimore Ravens to take the next step if they can indeed beat the Kansas City Chiefs, which I believe they can. But at the same time, you got to worry about the conditioning of this defensive line, because like I said in the previous video, if you can pass the ball on the Ravens effectively, they will get tired. And especially if you're young, athletic, and still have the agility to move around on that field, that helps too. So it'll be interesting to see how the Ravens can deal with that. Now, I'm not doubting this Ravens team at all, but I just think that, when you're playing in such a rowdy, mega energetic environment like that stadium is going to be for the Kansas City Chiefs, I just kind of think it's going to be hard to keep that focus to get to the other team. So it'll just be interesting to see how the psychological mentality of this team is. Can they really handle a real crazy, wild atmosphere like it's going to be when they play the Chiefs? It'll be very interesting to see. And another thing I stand corrected about that, I'm going to be making a lot of corrections in this video. So all you people out there that were planning on commenting on my video, before you send me any hate comments and say I don't know what I'm talking about and try to correct me and making me think that I don't know what I'm talking about, I'm confessing right now. I'm being real. I'm being honest, because that's just the type of guy that I am. If I mess up on something, I will be the first to admit it, because that's just how I am. I have nothing to hide. But another correction I want to make is I said that the Ravens-Chiefs game would be the first game of tomorrow. Actually, that game will be on Sunday. That will be one of the first games that will happen on Sunday. And I said the same thing about the Colts and the Jets. The AFC matchups will happen on Sunday. The NFC playoff matchups will start Saturday. That will consist of the Packers and the Eagles, and of course the Saints and the Seahawks. So yeah, I just wanted to get those corrected, because I don't want anybody looking at my videos and thinking that I was trying to put the cart before the horse, or however that cliche goes. But anyway, I just wanted to come and make those corrections so I could be right and make it look like I know what I'm talking about, so I won't look like an idiot to all of you out there viewing in YouTube land. So now that I've got those out of the way, everything is AG, meaning all good for all you non-Ebonic slang talkers out there. So yeah, that's all cleared up now. I'm at peace with myself. Now I can move on and go to the next video, which I will be doing here in just a short. So everybody stay tuned. I'm going to be talking about my NFC portion of the wild card playoffs, which will happen this weekend. I got it right that time. Which will be happening this weekend. It's going to be the Eagles versus the Packers, and of course the Saints and the Seahawks. So stay tuned, because you're not going to want to miss the things that I have to say about both of these games, plus my predictions as well. So everybody, keep it locked, and I'll be back in a bit. Deuce.